Nakwana no o jano. Riverside baba gay. Edu okai wane. Ara rukise boa. Akwayo ma. Na se bule na musio. Suamadi. Kaiwe no so mode yo. Na se kulu na musio sio. Na se kulu na musio sio. Kaiwe amode ile. Suamadi. Welu amusio. Dali amode na wese. Suamadi. Na se kulu na musio. Pasa samito dali na weo. Suamadi. Welu amusio. Pasa chitoro dali na wese. Se kulu amusio. Pasa tele toma dali na wese. Suamadi. Kaya yuza mwene yo. No se kulu na musio sio. No se kulu na musio sio. Yaibe yuza mwene yo. Ye babo rumola. Dodi e continue. Ya yuza je no awe yo. Weda no hao. No hao mo dagbe o. Ni e mo dade mo lo yuza o. We no amwe. No amwe ya bo ya o. Ona lo ye mo ji o. Adio aye dagbe bola. Fani e mo dade mo lo yuza. On a noir posé ya be fani yeba. No se kule amusio. No a posé ya be fani yeba. Suamai welu amusio.
It's marvelous Josh.
When no amwe ya pobla wewe o. Ya ba wewe ya bowe ya o. Ololo ye mojio aye dagbe ya o. Ona no adedi wa ye dagbe ya. When afọ mi no ba ye mo lo yuza o. Ona no atosi ye be fani ye ba. No atosi ye be fani ye ba. Suamai we wa boni mi wa o.
Iron Lady Records, sweet sound.
I complete mama. Ya no see. No way I can meta. Eh, me gane na uka yenga babo. Na une don yam. Na une don yam. Na une don yam. Me gane na uka wo mama boko. Na une don yam. Puno wama banu koma kale kupia. Para kada wambo ya kupia wa. Na une don yam. Para kaka sokwa. Na une don yam. Wala monseyo. Wala monseyo we baba ne. Wala monseyo kwendo we baba mama. Me kane na une don yam. Na une don yam. Na une don yam. Me kayene ya kayega ka we baba we ni ba we to no me baba. Na ye bebe don ye dole. Hala de la banga pa te pe me baba. We ka si kwen wo die ka baba. Na une don yam. Ne ka pa kwen wo ya do ngobe. Na une don yam. Kwai ka ta kwen si ya wo ngobe mama. Na une don tabone. Na une don yam. E wala masanyo. Zole te wa kwa ka papa bo. Yego pepe yego dole pora dia. Da kuzola yego mabone. De piezole yego pepe woman. I don't come out to hear you ne. And make an I don't come out woman. I do my mother you. Matore, yego kanto bomia. Na une don ya. Kibo yama ya bosu ko kwamba. I don't come out woman you ne. And jedu o tanya rere kwalu. Banaro, with my pay, by time, but Uncle Commodore. Cabo Jaluda, it is the new game, mechanic. A mechanic, no one can die. It was a yo. I don't got my woman where I must say you mechanic. Hey, that's my don't come and get a good beer. Primo, no, say no. Whereby the book my peer come according to say, away from my can't to me, walk up, come on. I don't come out with my yemen. Matas, walk up, see, Ponya, see, walk up, now and don't ye, kiss away, walk up, my now and don't ye, another pin.
Well, folks, want to say good evening and welcome to today's edition of the Riverside Talk. We are back again. I want to say thank you to all of you watching via Facebook. Let me say good evening to all of you in a very special way. And thank you for your time here tonight. It is the Twa River platform, and as it stands, I have my own financial secretary, Minute Duo, watching us live via Facebook. Who are watching, please just put in your name and comment, then we will be able to recognize your presence here tonight. I want to say thank you to all of you that are following us. It is an interesting day again, and we are here to provide you some information across Liberia and around the world as well. So let's listen to our traditional music. And from there, we will dive into some couple of discussion here tonight, give you some headlines, what is happening in Liberia, and so forth. Let's go back.
Esther Sabrin, we are when woman. Zakamoti, yeah, we are when woman. I lead to Pimitano. Cut to the car time. Patricia, but we are when woman, Mamma. I get the iron lady. It's so you're still to the Present my bag, walk up, Papa. Kema fora kwa kapa kama Afrika buye godolo bosomu Zoza kwa kapa bone Na unendo yama Na sia waye kopolo mia Na unendo yama Adonka woman yemune Na unendo yama Onsore doate de we na unendo ya jeru otane we kwaro kwe o mekane na unendo ya na unendo ya gibo nyawa ya bosu wa kwamba na unendo ya.
Yes, indeed. No one don't ye. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but that is Sita Man, one of Nima traditional music singer. And this guy became popular when he other music I say his own name. And when I visited Liberia, every corner you went to, this music was the hottest cake on the block. I was like, wow. And funny enough, he happened to be my brother-in-law. I want to say thank you to all of you again, once again. It is Twa River. Let's take some breaking news. This one is from the Liberia National Police. It says there has been additional charge into the $19 million drug saga in Liberia. And the Liberia National Police also, it says the Joint National Security Investigation Team, under the guidance of the Ministry of Justice, informed the public that Mr. Philip Munich Jr. has been formally charged in connection with the ongoing investigation into the attempted shipments of suspected illicit drugs through the Rivers International Airport. So you remember the drug saga that is going on in Liberia, right?
there has been additional. The last time the investigating team said some of those folks are on the run, and then today they are saying Mr. Philip Union, Philip Union Jr. has been formally charged in connection to the attempted shipment of the drugs. You know, this is we kept talking about this thing because it is a serious issue for Liberia, and the way in which we will handle this will bring ease to the situation, or it will also cause problem to the situation. So that's why we are continuously talking about it. And on the other hand, too, the Liberia National Fire Service graduates and other students today from the Basic Fire Service Institute of Liberia. And on that occasion was the Justice Minister, Councillor Oswald Tour, who urged the graduate to uphold discipline and integrity. But one thing that comes to my mind when it comes to this other issue is about we're graduating, professionals into various disciplines in Liberia. That shows that we are getting somewhere. But those graduates will come back. Whether we have the adequate equipment, for our young graduates that are coming out. My man, I told you I asked a question, so don't hold me in contempt. I asked questions about the actual meaning. I don't know why it's known and don't or what, I don't know. So if you know it, just let me know. We'll get it corrected. Don't hold me in contempt, my friend. All right. And another thing again here, a son of Nema, District Number 4, Reverend Jones Rati Year. Reverend Jones Year wrote a piece, and this he titled "I Write with a Bleeding Pen to Say Beyond 2029, Liberia future is greater than any election." We will dive deeper into that. Just the headlines. We'll come to those statements to know what is he talking about. And of course, here there is a disturbing video coming out of Grand Jide. All right, very disturbing, very, very much disturbing. And that video has to do with an assault on a police officer. I think they said the officer is the traffic commander in Grand Jide. He was assaulted by, I don't know what is, a motorcyclist, one duplex assaulted him. We should think it is quite unfortunate that we will still be going this route with mob violence. That is not what we should be doing at this time. Liberians, we should be of a better now than what is happening. We can't continue to be like this. So these are some discussion points, and we will be looking at that. So, the last time we broke a news that criminal court A sentenced about 8 to prison for their human trafficking case. But now, as of today, the George Roosevelt sentence, the sentence for each of those guys is they have 50 years imprisonment for the fake Canada job scandal. 50 years. And I think this will serve as a warning to whoever be any person that is trying to engage into those acts, because we are to be better beyond this, and I think it's we are getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere gradually. And still on the breaking news scene, our president, the president of the Republic of Liberia, is still out of Liberia on his official trip, and he's in Accra to meet with president of that country. He's still there, and hopefully we are hoping that something better will come when the president returns back to Liberia. We hope that some good news will come to us. And again, deep inside name accounted. Let's recognize, before we go to deep inside name accounted, let's recognize our Facebook followers. We have Carter Lago, a son of Tua River in Bill. From Bill is watching us, and then we have Mr. E. Duante Placard, the Tua River ambassador at Brighton near the Gambia. It's also watching live here. Well, folks, and away from sport, on the sporting scene, as you are aware, last night, France secured a win. So France is moving. You could see Kylian Mbappe, his performances last night on the field of play. So France is standing back. Let's see what happens comes final. Now, deep down in Neymar, a source have hinted that the issue between Wilmer P and that of the vice president in the peace talk. I am told that. Thank you, Honorable Vice Chancellor of ABC University, Mr. Maru, for following us here tonight. So that is what we want, is to discuss issue and address issue whenever those issues arises. And I am told that the two honorables and the elders of NEMA have handled that issue. We will go deeper into that. We will go do our full investigation to actually confirm that, but as a source hinted, that discussion has been finalized and peace has prevailed at the end of the day. Folks, let me bring back this music, and then we will go. After that, we'll go into our discussion.
Iron Lady Records, sweet sound.
I come to tell mama, ya no see, no way I can make that. Me gane na uka yenda babo, na une don yam, na une don yam, na une don yam. Me gane na uka wo mama gogo, na une don yam. Bunu wama banu koma kale kupia, para kada wambo ya kakwe wa, na une don yam, para kaka sokwa, na une don yam. Wala monsenyo. Ekwara mosi talo bua babane, ekwara mosi akwendo bua babe mama. Mekane na une don yam, na une don yam.
Well, folks, we want to say thanks for your time and thank you for being here tonight. I want to say thank you to all of you that are still with this platform. We did not, abandon you guys or not trying to be irregular with our show. But the problem here is, from where I said, I'm a busy guy. And my whole goal is to have a co-host to run the show on a daily basis. But I'm yet to get that person. So that is why we come on the show on the day I am available. On my off days, right now I should be doing something, but it is the sacrifice because we said we want to do something for our district, to put the district out there. And that's why you see I am seated right here. So I want to say thank you to all of you that continue to show concern, because we have a couple of our followers who continue to ask, why are we not seeing show? What's going on? Why are you guys not live? We're not. It is not our intent to ban you guys, and we are not into this to quit. We are here to stay. But our only constraint now is we need, like I said, I need an able-bodied persons to help and run this show on a daily basis. People in Liberia, your network is crazy sometimes, and it creates that environment where we struggle to get people on. So these are some of the reasons, but it is not that we want to let you people down. No, this is Twa River, the original Twa River, and we are here to stay. Now, we have a couple of announcements here for you people. Tomorrow, the 11th, the board member then coming here. Welcome to the show, Saki Johnson. Saki having to be one of our board members for this platform. I want to say thanks for following us. Finally, you find your own platform. Here we are. It is the Twa River TV. Thanks for following us. Tomorrow we will be having some fruitful discussion here about career development, and we will be in conversation with Dr. Chris Lam, who also happens to be a son of Belliger and a proud holder of the ABC University. Tomorrow we'll be in conversation with Dr. Lam here on career development. And then on Wednesday, we will go to Nimba University. We'll be in Nimba University camp. We'll be hosting the one of the Ogakpata at that institution, Mr. Charles Funkeyo, soon to be Dr. Charles Funkeyo, will be our guest here on Wednesday. So we have some goodies for you people, especially tomorrow. Let's encourage our brothers and sisters. Prince Wula, thanks for following. Let's encourage our brothers and sisters to come online tomorrow. There will be a very good discussion. We will be starting that discussion at 4 p.m. my time, which is 8 p.m. Liberia time tomorrow. And the whole intent of that discussion is to open the minds of people to what is education, what is career, and how one can go about, developing their own career, not to be told what to do. In the sense that, and the background of this whole thing is that if you can recall, people goes to college in Liberia through the influence of other family members, friends, but they are not going with their own sincere mind as to this is what I want to do. So that's why on this backdrop, I came out with this idea of let's have some career discussions with our people, especially those that just graduated and thinking, oh, I want to go to school. Fine, you want to go to school. What actually you want to do? Are you waiting, or are you probably maybe letting your family member to, why your family member wants you to do? Is that what you want to do? Is that actually, or you want to do nursing because somebody or your friend is doing nursing, or somebody said go do nursing? These are things that we actually want to have discussion about tomorrow, so that our people will have ears to have some ideas about what you can do. Some of us went to school in Liberia, went to college or university in Liberia. We didn't have, those guardians. Those guidelines were not part of us. And at the end of the day, we, were roaming around just to get maybe a bachelor degree at University of Liberia, we end up spending maybe 4, 5, 6 years just to get one bachelor. These are concerns. These are things that, we think we need to, make some arrangement into those directions that you will have some clear picture as to what you want to do. And again, we overlooked what we call vocational institution. Our whole intention is we want white-collar job. And this white-collar job, it is not many in Liberia. How many companies do we have? We all focus on government job. And at the end of the day, the corruption has settled down and set deep into the minds of everybody. And based on that, we are not, getting the kind of job that we want to have because they are not available. Somebody went to school. Like I always say, I don't discourage people of going to get bachelor, associate, bachelor, master, PhD. No, I don't. Myself, we here are fighting for those titles. So I can't say don't do it. But the actual reality here is it's good to do something that when you get out of college or university, you should be able to find something to do in your career or in your field. That is the whole goal of this, idea of let's discuss career. All right. Like I said, maybe I went to school. I knew fully well I don't want to do anything related to math because I'm not good at math. That's me right there. And then I decided to go do things in geology, mining, engineering. You know what's going to happen? I will be in that profession struggling just to get grades because it is not my area of. Listen, all of us have a specific thing that is attributed to us. No matter what, even you are educated or not, there is something that you're good at doing. So now let's put it in the context of education. If you decide to go to school, say the thing well, what really am I good at? How can I go about doing this? Now, if you have those ideas, those discussions within yourself, you will definitely going to arrive at something, and then you can make your way through that. But if you can't, and don't have that idea, and somebody just walk up to you and say, "Hey, man, John Brown, I mean, they coach good though. Go to it." So one time I was having conversation with my Pekin. I said, "I want you to go to India to go to school. What you want to do?" He said, "I want to do a computer engineer, computer system engineer." I said, "Okay, that's fine. But here's my suggestion. I would prefer you doing RT or maybe something related to biotech. Because those fields, they are in high demand. And especially to where you're going, they are those people there, they specialize into those things. So from there, you can work anywhere around the world." You look at it and say, "Oh, that's true, but this is where I want to be. This is my own affair." I say, "Fine." And that's what he doing. So at times it's good for us to have the open-minded discussion. That does not force things on people. But it's good that where your heart wants you to be, you put your mind into it. Let's look at University of Liberia. I'm not picking on you, but I just said an example. So folks that are attending University of Liberia, no they respect. But here's the thing. An individual will wake up with the intention of going to tell you. Normally, bachelor degree is just 4 years. But with our society, you realize that to get one person will wake up and go to get bachelor degree, that person will end up spending maybe 6 to 8 years to get one bachelor. I have a person who was in University of Liberia at the time I was still in high school. He spent 8 years to get bachelor in biology, and he wants to be a MD. So tell me, if you can spend that kind of year to get a bachelor, and then to go and get an MD from Dr. T to enter that another wahala. So, and you are in your 40s going to 50s. By the time you are done with this degree, or maybe by the time you are done to go and graduate from Dr. T, all of that, which takes another time, let's assume that you're almost going to 60. When will you start finding job to, make life? So we calculate things before we get into it. University and colleges is not meant for everybody. But there are other professions that we can specialize into and make life better for ourselves. And I always give an example about where I sit, the country that I'm in. Most of those guys here that work, that making those big money you think about, they never went to college or university. Like the house that I built here. The manager for the house is different. The fee manager is different. The business manager is different. So the business manager sits in the office, and then you go to them, you'll have your conversation. This is, this is the lane. This is how much it will cost and everything. If you agree, they draft the contract, you're signed. Now, when the contract is signed, it's been turned over to the fee manager who builds the house. The fee manager now will go to hire, those builders, the Mexicans and some Americans. Now, as the building, when that process starts, the people that putting your house together, they're quite different. Now, we have what we call design, interior design. You will go to that other stage and go select what you want. These are professional people that say somewhere else, you go to them and say, this is how I want my house to be. This is all I need into that. Now, where the technicality comes in, or the technical people get their own court, their big money to, is the issue of electrical work. It's a contract. Different person will take that contract to do it. The builder, the building manager takes, vet the contractor and give. Or maybe they have their own subcontractor with them. They say, okay, you go electrify that house. You go put plumbing, do the plumbing system in that house. That's how those guys make their money. So tell me, if you are doing in a mountain, you are electrifying 4, 5, 6 houses, you running plumbing pipes in 4, 5, 6 houses in a mountain. Tell me. So we overlook those things that makes money. All our attention is on white collar jobs. So in the morning we wake up, we put cool suit on, we get on bus, we go downtown, we're sitting and speaking BB. But if we put our minds onto some technical areas that when you are done with it, it will be, in high demand. Those things are very much important. So that's why we will be talking about tomorrow, about career development. So that people, and it's not just tomorrow, it's a continuing process. We'll be bringing some professionals on board with different ideas, different perspectives, so that people can have the ideas of what we're talking about. People can have the knowledge of what we're talking about. So it's not just leaving people in a loop. And I always like to give this story. I will give it, and I will say it every day. I graduated 2010 in high school, from high school, looking for school. I even wrote University of Liberia entrance. I wrote TMA entrance. I came to Phoebe. I wrote Phoebe entrance. And then I ended up now Nima University. You could see the excitement who entered Nima Community College at the time. About over 100 of us we went with the intention of we went to do nursing. But as time went on, we realized that there were over 100 plus of us that went. People started dropping. If you ever look at the first ever nursing students, they kept a bashing program that occurred at Nima University in 2015 March. If you look at that, we were about 50 of us that did that ceremony. But yesterday, out of that 50, the very first nursing students that graduated from that institution, right, they were now up to 50. In 2017, they were now up to 50. Because people kept dropping along the line. And what am I driving? People get into those careers because of influence, family influence, friends influence, but not with their own mind. And mind you, some of those products from Nima University Nursing Institution, those guys are doing well in the health, in the county health sector. We're talking about and some of the CHS supervisors, this and that, Even some administrator, my own cousin is administrator for a clinic in Ghana. In fact, a hospital in Ghana. So it's good that if you actually have the desire to do things, do it and say, this is what I want to do. And one thing people don't realize is that when it comes to the issue of health, anything you do in health, no matter what, it might take you some little bit of time, but no matter what, you never go out of job. You will definitely get a job on the healthcare field. But let's say we have a lot of business degree holders in Liberia, accountants in Liberia, and that of mining, geology, and engineering. Besides Amsterdam and that, who else do we have in Liberia that offers that is doing mining? The leading group we have is Amsterdam and that. And those guys, you have subcontractors that contract. So we have those subcontractors that comes to work with those institutions. I'm not discouraging somebody from not, doing those professions. But the reality here is if you are not actually, it's not actually what you want to do. If friends are influencing you, engineering you to do that, don't do it. Go with what your own set heart tells you to do. So that is just it, and that's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. Now, the issue of violence and insecurity is getting, it's getting rampant. All right. It's getting serious. We can't continue like this. Why will we be assaulting? Why will we assault the police officer? What is the issue? Why are we assaulting police officers? I'm trying to get that video from Grand today because it's actually disturbing. It's disturbing. If at this time where we're talking about we're talking about progress, we are still in the habit of assaulting a law enforcement officer. You know, these are things that don't go like the from where I sit. Even though we don't actually, we still trying to, get what led to that point. But it's important that we know that we are to do better and get past that point. We have to do better. We as citizens have our right. We can file complaint against a police officer if that person violates our human rights. We can file against complaint, but we can't beat on them. So let's say, for example, vice versa. If today it was to be a police officer that beat on a civilian, we will see a lot of protests bashing the police force. Even Gregory Coleman has said in Monroe that don't even know anything, that they didn't know what led to what will be, implicated. He's a regime security. But that's even if you have issue with that person, the uniforms that person wears, the seal that is on it, the flag that is on it, it is indeed a representation of Liberia. So let me ask a question. Let's say, for example, right, how will you feel a foreign national, or maybe let's just say Guinea, Ivory Coast, taking our Liberia flag to tear it apart, or maybe taking your police uniform, tearing it apart? How will you feel about it? That is the exact same thing with beating on a police officer. And they should not be taken lightly. If the police does something wrong, we all can bash them. If they violate the right of another person, we talk about it. We let them know their flaws, where they are, what was wrong. We let them know. But that is not, the way to do things. We can't continue doing the old thing. Akumi will say the same old thing and get different results. No. I'm paraphrasing what he usually says. But it is important that we have that regard, the human regard for ourselves and that is our fellow human. Because if we are into this habit where we don't have regard for authority, we become outlaw. No serious investor will want to come to this country. You see, Uncle Sam is suffering today with this whole country here. It's because the basic things were missed from the beginning. That's why you will sit in Liberia and hear that, another mass shooting to this place, mass shooting at campus, somebody open gun on another people, this and that. Because they overlooked the basic thing and it got passed by. At the end of the day, it has progressed to a very dangerous level. And for me, I don't want to be in a crowded area. If I am going to, a shopping center or everywhere, if I'm in that building, I was observing route, exit route, harding point, because you don't know what will happen. We don't want to get into that. We don't want to get into that kind of thing. Let's remember where we came from. Let's remember where we came from. And if you ask me from a security point, I would say our security sector is gradually improving. It is not to where we were a couple years back. We are gradually improving. That does not mean that there is no bad elements within the force. There is bad element within every society, every organization, every institution. There are bad elements. But equally so, let's have regard. We can change the trajectory into a positive one and a negative one always. Violence does not pay. Violence is not the solution to every problem always. It's not. It creates chaos, instability, and you name it. Because you know what's going to happen? I'm assuming that individual is a motorcyclist. I'm assuming. And I'm assuming this is traffic related because this individual is a traffic commander as the news has been disclosed. Why can't we abide by rules? The Rwanda, the Ghana, or even the Burkina Faso that we're talking about today with Ibrahim Traore. Systems and rules. All right? We are to do that. The motorcyclists that we see flying around in Liberia, I'm a confirmed and satisfied motorcyclist. I ran traffic in Liberia. But in this country, from where I sit, every moving object needs to be registered. You have your license to carry them and have insurance to plow on the street. If you don't have them, sorry, you can't put it on the street. And if you happen to be caught by a police officer, you'll be impounded. You'll be impounded. So that's why even myself here, my little Zatoda in Liberia there, I gotta put insurance on it. I gotta register it so that I'll be able to move. Even though it's not driving every day, but even if it is parked, there's one a time will come that it will have to get on the road. So it needs to be insured. It needs to be registered. So if those things are required of us to do, let us do it and obey the rules. Those countries that you sit there and say, oh, then people, they are country fun, they are country this. It ain't just wake up overnight to be fun. Oh. There are a series of process and procedures and guidelines laid out for people to go by. And if you violate, just 2 weeks ago, I was driving my family to, an occasion. And I had a driver before me who was driving, an elderly person who was driving very, very, very slow. So I was driving at the speed of the person before me. And the speed zone that we were in says about 30 miles per hour. And the person before me was not even up to 30. So at the end of the day, I can't go beyond that speed mark, that the speed the person is driving. I can't go beyond that because I don't have a freeway to go. So I was driving very slow through like the person because it's a one-way street. You can't bypass it. And there was a police guy behind me. He pulled me over. Said, why are you driving slow? And secondly, you didn't turn your turn signal when you were about to make a turn here. I said, oh, the turn signal, you might be right because I didn't remember turning my turn signal. But the person ahead of me is driving very slow. And you are saying, well, I can't drive past this person. It's a one-way street. You know what happened? I was given a warning. I was given a warning because I was driving slow. I would have said, why are you not looking at the person ahead of me? You pulled me over, you gave me a warning. But that is the rules. You got to obey the law. So we got to obey. You can't have that mentality. That just say you have that mentality, God bless you, you left Liberia, you came to any Western country. You think you come and put your car on the street and be passing red light, camera everywhere, bro. You pass the police not around, you lock it, but camera will capture you. And you're going to pay. No joke about it, you're going to pay. You will see mail. And as the mail comes, you got to pay due. So it's important that we abide by rules and regulations. We can take up issues with authority. That is the security apparatus. We can file complaints. There is standard division. You can file complaints. You can file your grievance against whoever you think has violated your rights. You can file a grievance against them, and it can be addressed. But we need to stop taking laws into our own hands and allow violence to prevail always. That is not the result to it always. That is not even the positive result that we need to be getting out of Liberia. So that video is quite disturbing. That the entire one side of the officer face is sewn up with blood all over him, and the second video, the second picture that I saw of him. His head is wrapped with bandage. So now if the police decide to retaliate, we say, oh, the police not do that. Oh. Let's respect ourselves and also respect authority. And to all the police force, you guys are doing excellent work. It's quite frustrating to see that a society that have not been used to policies and things, everybody do things their own way, to try to implement or enforce rules. It's a hard job. I get the point, folks. It's not easy. It's mentally draining, mentally challenging. Because you are dealing with people from various school of thought, people who their understanding is different from yours, people who see things differently. But it's good that when we're dealing with those people, we do it professionally. Because you don't know what somebody is thinking. You don't know what this person is going through. And I always say to my people at work that your tone makes issue escalate. Your tone makes issue to calm down. But if we in whatever voice, you give it to me, I'll give it to you. If we adopt that approach, we'll always end up with violence. Assault. Once we have been assaulted. I'm a security personnel. I've been assaulted before. I've sustained injury from my assault. That is because we are dealing with people who their thought processes is quite different. For me, I deal with people who come from the street. You're talking about gangs leaders. You're talking about people who, who honestly their thinking is way backward, like 2 years old kids. People who in their entire life have resisted authority all through. So it's important that when we're dealing with those people, we do it professionally. And let us remember that even us being authoritative figure, using authoritative approach, it's not always the result of things. It will not even go anywhere. It will not even, be a better one, because it will always end up into this approach, into this effect. But it's always good that, we remain professional. And let's allow judgment or the law to deal with that aggressor. Let's allow the law to deal with that. And let us not always be take the negative side of addressing issue always to bring chaos among ourselves. Those things don't offer well. Those things don't offer well. It's always good. It's always good that we know that the best way we can build a productive society is to have a respect for one another. If we can do that, it will always offer us well. Because honestly, violence, after that, you sit and think and say, but why even I have to even do this? Why? But it's good that we, it's good that we have a mindset and ideas that we are to build a society. If we see places we want to go to Rwanda, we want to go to Ghana, we want to go to those developed nation or developed countries. They didn't just wake up from the sky though. The America that all of us want to come to America. America did not just jump up from the sky to be beautiful as it is. Everybody abides by rules. And one of the things you see here, people don't put trash, dead on the street. Go do it. Will be some you see somebody walking in the street in Liberia eating and dropping the dirt on the road. Or you see somebody now stand behind the corner urinating. Go do it here. The police will tell you, you pay fine, you go to jail. Well, that is it on the other end. Let's go to Nimba. I want to say thank you to all of you that continue to follow us. So, in Nimba County, roughly, I think it's over another 3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks now, or maybe close to a month, when J. William Pay was interviewed on Spoon Network. On Spoon Network, which in that interview, he expresses some dissatisfaction about the way in which he was removed from office. And the vice president report of Liberia then came into play that his removal was solely based on after his rejection to speak with his wife on behalf of former Sub Dog Cooper education saga. That issue raised, it covers the entire social media for an extensive period of time. Even by then, Honorable Page should have been one of the guests on the show about 2 weeks or so ago. But then the head of NEMA said William Pay has been called to NEMA for dialogue, and he is not allowed to speak to any media or any news outlet until the conversation is over. But as of today, what I'm hearing deep inside of NEMA is that that conversation has been held, discussion have been made, and at the end of the day, peace has prevailed. And that brings me to one of my talking points on the show always about NEMA unity. Because no one person should be left behind. It is true. The vice president is popular. And popularity is, nobody can doubt it. But equally so, popularity is not also. You need a key players around you. Let's take it in the context of field of play. If you want to succeed in your game, what do? You put on your best players on the field. So that at the end of the day, victory will prevail. Though not all the game, your best player can bring you victory. But equally so, at least you have, build that momentum. So it's important that we leave no stone unturned, quote unquote, if we actually want to, be serious about NEMA unity. But if we are not, and just take it out of, being flamboyant about it, we ain't going nowhere. So it's actually a good thing that we are in this category. We are in this category. And we are not out of this category. So let me applaud the people of the areas of NEMA. I know I've been firing them a few days. Mr. Wade, thanks for watching. I know I've been on your back. But the truth remains that you don't always have to wait when things fall before you can face it. My baby there. Y'all don't be scared because you're on payroll, and when y'all say the truth, they will take you from payroll. flour eaten before dog ear cut. You don't always have to wait. All of y'all can understand English. All of y'all. All of y'all can understand English. So when y'all start hearing the noise, y'all come in and now wait when it's 4 before y'all can say, y'all hold on, children, y'all hold on. No. You don't do it, oh man. I will back in your back. I'm about to hold your foot. The issue of resolving it, fine. Y'all can resolve it, but y'all don't wait when it's 4, when the oil spilled now, and we're talking about it, then y'all say, y'all start buying it, not to talk anymore to us. Y'all do your groundwork. Some people are seeing, let's be truthful here. Now, you want to feed. I want to say elders. But my papa, you don't mind a paycheck. And not come into issues. Now we now resolve, you're not resolve that other one. Another one stay hanging. Another one stay hanging. I'm not hearing nobody talking about it here. Though. Nobody. I always spoken about it. But just wait. When something happens and then y'all say, y'all hold on. Before we say y'all hold on, they want to happen now, y'all talking. I'm talking about the issue of the NEMA superintendent called me about going and Dallas. I was sending that program. That two that you also and daughter there. But always there is friction. We're looking at y'all with ego eye. You're sitting there, you're not doing nothing. Like Brian Boy, you're not doing nothing about it. But you're waiting now when it's 4, then y'all will say you're calling for peace talk again. Y'all talk the other issue. Say you're not resolve the one we're waiting now. Tomorrow I come and call on a repeat because now he tell me that they say I hear. Myself will call it tomorrow. Myself will call him tomorrow and ask him whether that's true I hear him because the person that tell me that I'm a confidant. I can't call the person in I'm a confidant. I tell me say, my man, the papa they're not finished talking a thing and speaking a real Abram Kolokwa. But the reality here is that my papa another one stay there. It is not 1, it is not 2. It's a constant occurrence. It continues to happen. We want you to settle the other issue in NEMA between the superintendent and the senator. There are 2 big government people in there. But their ship is shaking. We want it back. Right now, by the time you're sort of talking, you don't wait when they say, oh, it have gone to that level now, then before you say, hey, y'all check break, y'all start blowing whistle for people to slow down. When y'all do that one, when I slow down, we're talking. All right, I'm feeling telling you. I don't want to look at y'all with ego. I want y'all to call out 2 people and settle that thing. Want y'all call them and settle it. And y'all got to stay call the same call that man called it our honorable VP. Y'all got to call it 280 because that's last week, 1.5 weeks gone by. Y'all were there in the Makande. All the things that were going on. Press conference, Facebook post, this and that. My baby, all that thing y'all can see about. We want y'all to start talking in other world. Me. That my own one saying they're telling you, y'all like it, y'all listen to it. Y'all not listening. When it go back, when we start talking and now we'll talk it. I want no break. We'll not hold break. I don't care y'all tell somebody say don't talk, we'll talk. All right. I've been telling y'all. Y'all like it, y'all take it. And take it, like that. We'll see what will happen. So it's a good thing that those conversations are held. Those conversations are held and peace has prevailed. We like it. But on the other hand, we keep overlooking things and say, oh, the man is popular, people will rally around at the end of the day. Fine. My choice is not your choice. What's up, baby? Is right there. That's what your own government is right there. We don't know whether another son of Nima me. I can't call my own man, we're coming from our own party now. We're coming from our own party, and our own party know what we're coming to do. You know what I'm going to do? We'll just be there. We'll be producing representative. I'll tell my man, not all contesting for representative or any position. I own a party, come from Nima, senator. Therefore, I had to produce them. Say you don't want to bring people together. Y'all sit down and say the main popular. People will unite. What a lofa. Consolidations are going on. But yes, still, Lofa get the presidency, they're not causing no. We don't want to get the vice presidency. Every day we're causing no in our country. I hear the people back. We can get go hard time too back. On the serious note, we can get the paper hard time. So now I know the paper will say, where the other group of people came from are they there in Liberia. One I was telling somebody I was discussing, and then I said, the person said, how I hear them people? I said, we're no different from Israel. We are Israelis. So why you make out a descendant of Israel settling in Liberia? I see how that happening in Israel around the Middle East there. I see how that was sitting there right there in Liberia. Though we are developmental people, but we are here to tell the truth. We have here people. We want to listen to one another. You go to the other person at doctorate degree, you want to look at him and say, man, I know nothing, man. Don't mean nothing to me. They give me a hard time. But on a serious note, if we are to, take this more unity serious, we got to bring on board the wounded soldiers. And bringing them on board, it starts now. We sat and kept looking at one person. Belete is a smart politician, if you don't know. He might not win. He might not gain, more votes. But let me tell you, he's building a solidarity. And don't be surprised, you see a lot of CMC representatives across Liberia comes 2029. And you know what he's doing? The wounded soldiers are the ones he's going after. The confidants are the ones he's going after. And we're sitting there and say, oh, yeah, the VP getting him out. The VP getting him out. Yeah, the VP getting him out. That's not do anything. We'll see. Bamu, the Vipera comes 2029. This is the time we need to start working. Those of you that are in the background, they quote unquote Nima unity. When somebody posts something on Facebook, you attack the person. Oh, they want not doing that. They want don't bring him closer. Y'all be there. Time will come out when y'all see people sweating. At the time y'all will know. Tama Father then were the hierarchies in CDC. Why is Tama Father today? Tama is leading towards the ruling establishment. Sir Joseph, another strong partisan of CDC. Why is Sir Joseph today? He got a guy, but mind you, just see what's going to happen. The consolidations is going on. At the end of the day, you hear a offensive name, I call it Lofa, is our common denominator. But also in Nima. I mean, not nothing. What did that man know? That man not nothing. That man don't bring that man closer, cheap. Now we have created a space where we look at one another on a microscope. And when we see one small thing, like I say, no, red flag. But yesterday we thought of we have these ideas of bringing people, quote unquote, we want NEMA to unite, but we're leaving wounded soldiers down. We're leaving people that have followers too. We're leaving them aside, folks. It is a see. If you guys are not sensing this as NEMA is under attack politically by oppositions and some elements that wants to, divide NEMA politically. If you don't think that NEMA is under attack in that direction, then you're continue to be there and think that it's all rosy, the 5% against NEMA County, fine. You'll sit down there and not do what you're supposed to do. Come on, example. See the senatorial by-election last year, April, that brought Koga to power. See the senatorial by-election. What happens? How the CDC moved in NEMA. CDC went in NEMA. Their whole intention was to destabilize NEMA and make the vice president unpopular. All of them, what happened? They supported Managonglo White. What happened at the end of the day? Though Koga won. These are things that we're talking about. CMC had the former county inspector of NEMA, Mark Blue, in the race. The CMC never got voted there. Though Mike Blue is popular. Oh, before he even joined CDC, he was a popular guy. A place too, but CMC got vote. Let us not overlook things. Let us take this NEMA unity serious. Very, very serious. Very serious. I hope you read that. That brings me to my next discussion, which has to do with the sentencing of the human traffickers in Liberia. So I think it was early this week or so. So for the being date, criminal court have those guys convicted after the jury deliberation for maybe under 30 minutes. They all were found guilty. And as of today, they were all sentenced to prison for 50 years each. And their crime, human traffic, they coerce people and said there's a job in Canada for them. And so, the case was another test to the judiciary system, and thank God, hopefully, the law, came into play. Welcome to the show, Mr. Franklin Miaman. Are you there? All right. So as of today, those guys have been sentenced to 50 years in prison each. Sentenced today, right? Let's calculate. From 2025, 2035, 10 years, 45. So you're talking about the 50 years, 35, 45, 20, 55, 30, 65. So Roughly, we're talking about 2075. Young life. Young lives spent will be in prison for that length of time. Maybe some will die in prison. Maybe some will come out of prison looking old, not knowing where they are. That's why it's important when we're doing things, we should think about the consequences that come after. And they will always say, oh, there's no quick way, no fast way that is easy. Always there will come with consequences. And that's one of the things we have been saying on the show as regards to people going to India. Franklin, if you are there, you can unmute. Frank. And as always the case with people kept saying,
hello?
Yeah, hello, welcome.
Hello. All right. So, okay, thank you. I think you are doing well with the discussion, and they were really thought for us to go into the issue of human trafficking. It's becoming a very serious issue in our country and around the sub-region. The rule that came up today, this is getting serious, and I think the legal way of people doing it now is better. Because even myself, yeah, there have been many days that I would think of traveling. But how do I travel? Should I just get up and leave my home and people call me to just go out there because I want to? I should not take precautions. All of us want to find a better way to live, but we shouldn't live it in a way that it will not bring any benefit to you and your family. Let's take, for example, in 2020, 2021, you saw a lot of people migrating to Dubai. And the result from Dubai was too bad. People will go there and they treat them like animals. A guy came to our church and said, and when you are in Dubai or at the time they were there, if you were stranded, you don't have money, and any of them wants you to work for them or to give you 20 United States dollars, they will put feces in your mouth. Can you imagine that? You who here respected, or you get a little catch, you decide to leave and go find a better area, but you didn't go the right way. Then someone treating you like animal, telling you that before I give you 20 United States dollars, I have to urinate in your mouth, or I have to pass feces in your mouth. That is wrong. And if you come from there and you will not live a better life again, maybe you could contract any sickness from there, you die in any result. We have some sisters too who went to Oman. They came from Oman and they were right here at RI Highway. They talked on radio, we heard them on live videos, how they were assaulted sexually, how people deal with them. And a lot of people can contract a lot of diseases from these things. So we need to really be careful and see how best we live in our country. And also, let us be satisfied with what we have. When we are not satisfied with what we have, it leads us to dangerous path. It leads us to area that we weren't supposed to go. So that is the result. Being content, be satisfied with what you have is very much important. And people who are trafficked, take for example, somebody said they were carrying you to Canada. Then you find yourself right here in Bengmatan. Is that not a disgrace? In Bengmatan, why do you Bengmatan? In the head of a big house. Then the people just mistreating you. No way to get to your people. So we need to really tell our people how to live, we need to be serious on our children. If not, the influence will carry them and they will end up badly.
Yes, and that's the thing we've been saying on this show. The issue of traveling, I've been saying it over and over. We Liberians, we want to travel so badly. And at the end of the day, anything that comes our way, we take it. The issue of Dubai, Umi, those places, they are Arab nation. And especially Umi. The people that went there, not just Liberians alone, a lot of Africans were mistreated. A lot of Africans suffered. Even some lost their lives. Listen, it is not easy. If you want to travel, do it a proper way. Even it just that recently, Uncle Sam closed down, slowed down the processes of PV and this and that. But yes, if you do it the legal way, let me tell you, issue of Canada. Canada needs people fine. But one of the easier ways you can go to Canada is through student or scholarship. Every year, those institutions put out scholarship application. You go online and do your research. Do your research by yourself. And get to know those things. What is involved. And if you require help, you go to somebody that you trust or somebody, you ask people around and do it. Now, let's say you have a visa to go to Canada. Canada is not an America that is cracking down on immigration hardly. Canada workforce needs people fine. But if you do it a legal way and get there, you get in the workforce and start working. I know of people who went to Canada from Liberia as students, spent 1 or 2 semesters on campus. Now they live in Canada. They're working. They're making their life. But yeah, is there somebody coming to you? I guess if the person are telling you they got space for Canada, they can't go. But only you can go. Why we can't ask those questions? That's the same thing we've been talking about, the issue of India. It is the same form of human trafficking. Because people will lie to people and say, oh, go to India, you come to India, you get scholarship, you get this one, you can work, and at the end result, when people go there, they are stuck. No way. Now they eat the water. They got to either make it work for themselves or maybe try to engineer another person to come and join it. And I always say, it's important that you do your research on those topics, on those places, before you make a move. Because yeah, is it 50 years in prison, 50 whole year in prison. Right now, count from 2025, from 25 to 26, 1 year. Just count 10. We're talking about 2075 for maybe if they are alive before they come out. Let's say, for example, you were outside. Now 50 years.
Some of us would.
Go ahead. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah, the painful thing, as I was saying, is some of us will be here, we will have a nice family. And yeah, I'm talking the internet gave me a hard time. Getting me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Go ahead. Go ahead, Frankie. I'm hearing you.
I don't know where they are now too.
Oh man. So these are things that we're talking about that make we have to, make the research ourselves. Yeah, Franklin, go ahead, brother. You muted.
Just going in Liberia. I'm not muted. It's the network, the internet.
What?
I'm not muted. Oh, so people will be having something to do here, and they will just give their money to people to make use for that to America or Canada or somewhere. So the people that were carried to Bemata and for good business, those people are going to jail. It was a petty thing. How in the world you will get $950 to someone, and some people get between $950 to $4,500 United States dollars. Then you just enter in a fence and someone take your phone for you, and that's a violation of your rights. If you say you are carrying me to Canada, why should you take my phone? I know a person that people said she had traveled to Canada. In fact, she started with me, and I started asking her, "Where are you?" And she said, "I'm uptown." But when I look at the background, when I look at the condition on the photo, I felt that the person was not anywhere in America or Canada or somewhere. I was still thinking that it was a scene scam. So she was chatting with me and she asked for somebody that was her friend for me to connect her to him. So I started thinking, I said, but at first, at certain time, I was convinced, and at certain time, I was not convinced. You used to ask people which country this girl travel, but then they will not be able to tell me the specific country she traveled. Then I know of a girl too who traveled, and for her, I clearly saw in Australia on video. I said, but then this girl for her part is in Australia. But for this particular girl, I don't know where she is. And so I'm almost surprised I got to know that she was in Sierra Leone as well. And she was sexually assaulted in that place by people. It was her boyfriend from Nima County that sent money to Sierra Leone to free her and bring her back to Monrovia. And she had to go and live with her in Nima. So our girls, when they are not careful,
Are you lady record sweet sound?
I come to tell mama, ya no see, no way I can make that. kane na uka yenda babo. Na une don yam. Na une don yam. Na une don yam. Me kane na uka wo mama ko kwa. Na une don yam. Punu wama banu kwa makale kupia. Akala wa boya kupia wa. Na une don yam. Baba kaka sokwa. Na une don yam. Wala monsen yo. Ewara monsen tado kuya baba ne. Ewara monsen kwendo kuya baba mama. Mekane.
What a month, yeah, that's the question. So, well, folks, want to say thank you to all of you. What we are saying is, an eye opener to society. It's true, we all want to travel out of Liberia, fine. But one thing I would like for people to know is that God time is the best. And when people are coming around to say, oh, I have this space for somebody to travel, ask that person, if you have the space, why can't you travel on it? When we hear those things, we become so naive. At one time, that was somewhere around 2014. I was in a situation that somebody sent me a friend request on Facebook, and I confirmed it. Person said, oh, I'm from Libya. My father was a late general, and I'm an orphan because both my parents were killed, but I'm looking for a place to stay. I don't want to be even around here. I want to come to a country that I've not been before and this and that. So could you help? But now where the things get tricky is that this person said father left so and so amount in their account. And based on that, they need help to get this account, to get this money transferred to the country. So to get a money transfer, it will require about 900, and got to go through barrister and this and that. So I said, since that's the case, why you can't tell the barrister to process, since the presence of barrister already, he or she might have had good connection with things. Why the person can't try to process the money and then take their fees from there, but you want the person that you want to come to process and pay the money, and that's all the fees and this and that. That was the question that was not answered. So we have to be careful with the kind of information we consume. People are hustling on a daily basis. That's the one we call Yahoo. Nigerian men say Yahoo. Because people sit and take image of people, or maybe try to, maybe they have taken over another person's page, and then they make those environments look beautiful. When you see it, say, oh, that's true. Folks, whenever you hear those information, do your own research. I always say, when I say research, that does not mean you come and go to pen and paper, you come. The act of you, looking up, or maybe calling, or maybe asking around questions to know things about something, you're conducting your research right there. You're doing your groundwork. That is what we call research. So we can't be a victim to things that we didn't plan for. So those things are important though. And to to the brothers that got, sentenced to 50 years, let's take for example, there should be a warning to all of us. Warning to all of us. And let us have this in mind that no matter what, whatever you do, one day, it will show. It is good to get your honest money than to get fast money with problem. It is good to do your honest hustle, as we say, than to do fast money with problem. And not good. Now hold it right there. So one of our panelists who happened to be a son of Nimba and also one of God's folk evangelists, Reverend Jones, yet wrote a piece. And the title of that is Beyond 2029 Liberia Future is Greater Than Election. I was calling him to come on tonight so we can have this discussion, but he didn't. And then he began by quoting a Bible verse from Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, which says, quote, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." Our word will say perish for lack of knowledge. Now, he said, fellow Liberians, as a people, we must ask ourselves the difficult but necessary question. Why are we consumed with the 2029 elections? Why the future of Liberia imbalance? He went on to say 2029 election is important, but it is only one moment in history of our nation, Liberia. The destiny of a nation is much greater than any other trial political competition. When our minds are focused on who will win the next election, we will be sacrificing the long-term development of this nation and short-term political gain. For short-term political gain. And then he went on to say, if our greatest concern is 2029 election, then many of the things we do today may be temporary and for short time. Those projects will be designed to impress rather than endure. Promise made to win applause instead of transforming lives. And then later, bottom down, he quoted another Bible verse that says the Bible teaches us where there is no vision, the people perish. And that comes from Proverbs 29:18. Now, this piece that he wrote, I see it in two ways. It has some biblical connections, and it's also, in a form of a caution, early warning sound to me. Because honestly, I kind of agree with him in the sense that we are so much focused right now on 2029. Oh, 2029 election coming, I want to be president, I want to be this, I want to be that, their person will be this, their person doing this. And most of those things we've seen happening now, they are for what? Electionary period. But what he's trying to say here is, what about beyond 2029? Because Liberia will not just end in 2029. 2029 is a political period, political season where the country will go to elect a new court of officers to steer the affairs of the country for the next 6 years. If they deem it necessary to retain, they retain. If they deem it necessary to drop, that's what we call man moving, man dropping. No CM player on the team. But our mind are so much concerned with this, how you call it, 2029, 2029, 2029. Are we looking at Liberia beyond 2029? Listen, we've seen development going on, politicians doing this, building roads, building bridges, bringing east to the light. And if you ever sit and listen to Professor P.L.O. Lumumba, a teaching, a caution to the continent of Africa, to the electorates, this is what he speaks about. Because what you see happening is that our minds are so much, focused on a temporary thing. What's about the long-term goal for Liberia? What's about the future for Liberia? How do we live beyond 2029? Well, I would think Joseph Baga, he will still retain the seat. We are coming back with force. We're coming back, we'll take back our country. Now, our mentor is not coming there. Then the journey just come in a presidential camp. Or Musa Hassan Belete say, I'm building my coalition. I want to bring a different Liberia, building bridges, building roads, remembering development. These are things meant for 2029. But are we looking at Liberia beyond 2029, or we are just looking at Liberia for 2029? And I agree with his piece, with his write-up. And if you ever came across something, if you go on our page, you will see it there as well. It says, at the end of the borderline, he said, let us think beyond election. Let us think beyond politics. Let us think beyond ourselves. And then he said, let us build Liberia, besides the nation whose God is the Lord. Bless the nation whose God is the Lord. Psalm 33, verses 4. Long live Liberia. Yeah. Let's think beyond election. Let's think how, investors, businesses, jobs will float into Liberia, that Liberians will have jobs. Maybe it will have jobs all over the country, people working, making their own living. We will see, a minimum interest into politics. Because everybody now want to become politician. Later, you see the person coming up, the man there learning how to do battlecraft. I will say, the dad is saying it. And I was watching something online with one of my one of our blue beret brother was, politically charged, man. The Amanda, the guy put it into Manning Strait. I'll look for that clip. I got put it into Manning Strait. And I don't know whether those guys that were around him realized that he was speaking Mana, because what he was saying, it was completely in Mana and it suited well. He put it well into the Mana language, and then it blended with. Man, I was just laughing. And every little thing we think of is putting on a political bazooka, the political belt. I was one of those. We took radio stations speaking about leaders that were not doing well. Leaders that saw us as, antagonists. We took radio about them because another person who wants to become a representative, felt that that's the best things to do and brought us. It brought us closer. The quote unquote the students, the talkative, the one that can fire back, brought them closer. But folks, from where I sit, I see things differently. And I always told a friend of mine who is solely deeply rooted into politics that everything he thinks on is just politics and becoming lawmaker. It is your choice. It's your desire, but that is not my desire. Do I want to work for my country, Liberia? Yes, I want to. But I want to contribute in a different capacity, not as lawmaker. I don't want to be corrupted. Not just lawmakers are corrupt. Even the ministers, directors, they are all corrupt. But I want to bring a different picture on the board. And maybe I think for that people might not like me. I want to take a different approach in our society. That is because all of us cannot just be on the same page. All of us cannot wear the same jersey. When I am playing for my home team, my jersey is what, number 9. My older brother that I next to, jersey is number 7. And my other cousin, jersey is what, number 8. So in the game, the 3 of us, 2 person will start, 1 person is stand by. At times, 1 will start, 2 want to stand by. All of us have a jersey that suits us. But maybe we hope that to see Liberia beyond 2029, to think Liberia beyond 2029, and have the notion that we want to see Liberia progress, not just about politics, not just about CDC coming to power, not just about Unity Party retaining opposition, not just about CMC coming to power to bring some Americans, also to bring some Liberia who based overseas or abroad to come and work in the country. No, it's not about it. But let's think about Liberia and picture, envision the Liberia that we will say, I wake up from my house, maybe get on my keke, get in my car, and went to work. Even if it is earnest $50, I want it. Let's vision Liberia that way. And stop this whole thing about everything that politics. Those things, we've been in the politics thing from record ages. Go read our history. Go read our history. The Red Riot, the 1989, the Tongpa Saga, the Quimpa Saga, the Do Saga. Go read about them. The Lur, the Model, the NPFL and INPFL of the late Senator Prince Johnson. The history that makes Prince Johnson that lives with him and lives even beyond his grave. Look at all of that. It is because of what? Politics. Let us not just keep being glued to those, people who don't have the vision of changing the minds of people, changing the minds of their citizens, bringing more peace, bringing more freedom. when I say freedom, I'm talking about freedom in a way that a person will wake up from his or her home and go to work and work on their own and make money than begging a lawmaker for daily bread. Because that's what those guys want to see happening every day. Every day you begging a cheat, I beg you, they give you ESOT before they give you those money, or maybe they take advantage of you before they give you those money. But let's vision Liberia and say, I want to see a Liberia where my child will be educated and my education system will be competitive. I want to see Liberia in that direction. Let's think Liberia that way. Let's vision Liberia beyond politics. Lord, when I'm moving by myself, I can't be president too. Let's see Liberia differently. Go see Burkina Faso. Ibrahim Traore. How old is Ibrahim? The very year Sankara was born. It was the very year Sankara was killed was the very year he was born. That is the reincarnation of Thomas Sankara. He carries the vision of Thomas Sankara because that is what Sankara wanted in Burkina Faso before, and he was working towards it before he got killed. You ask any Burkinabes, they will tell you Thomas Sankara. I have watched the whole documentary about Sankara legacy. The people that strongly believe in Sankara, I have watched those legacy. These are men that stood up for change. These are men that think about the old lady that selling her beta ball, that making fun, and you name it. These are men. He's one of those. Listen to the speeches of Lumumba, the men of Africa at the time, before even our fathers were born, or our fathers were kids at the time, before even we were born. Those men go to something called the OAU. Let's think about Liberia beyond politics, beyond election, and envision Liberia of a productive society, a place where we will all live and go to work and come home safely and provide, put food on our table, and depending on politicians to give us 1 cent to feed. There's nothing in politics, folks. All you get from politics is regret and disappointment. Because right now, not everybody that is coming back. Oh, them men is doing it. Them men are good men. Not everybody, the bucket that you take, all, let's say the water that is in a bucket, not all can stay. We've seen it. Some of you that are contestants for election, you have seen it. What happens afterward? The people, and a common example, Ellis Comey, when he came into the race, if you ever watch Ellis Comey, his case is similar to that of Reverend Kennedy Sandee. Where were we people in 2011? Let's be wise. Liberia beyond politics. Liberia is the only country we have. God's willing, we'll be here tomorrow. 7 p.m. dot. That is 11 p.m. Liberia time. Tomorrow we'll be here with another fruitful discussion on career. Don't leave us. Come here. Let's have those discussions. Tomorrow we will be talking about the choices you can make, how it affects you, and how it lift it up. We will talk about those things here tomorrow. Join us tomorrow as we discuss and host one of our own song, our own doctor, the educator, Dr. Praise Long. He was my classmate, Can High, 9th grade. So we will be in conversation with him here tomorrow about education, career development. Join us tomorrow. God's willing, as our former president Taster always say, folks, God's willing, we'll see you. Thank you all for your time here tonight. It has been a fruitful discussion. And thanks to those of you who follow us. We appreciate you all. Once again, Prince Fuller, Osaki Johnson, our board member, the acting vice chancellor, Mr. Nehemiah, and our Tuaro ambassador created here in the Gambia, Plaka, the son of Bill Yola Abiu, Mr. Lago, and then the son of Bill too as well, Mr. Menede Duo Shetter. I want to say welcome to all of you and thanks for following us here tonight. Tomorrow we'll be with you by God's grace. And let's have a prediction tonight. Who's going to win the game? We will see that. Thank you. Bye from my end.